Hello, baby gangsters. This is Calvin, also known as Romer, and this is my first ever playthrough of Genshin Impact, and I am jittery. I'm excited to do a long time coming quest. There he is over there. It's Kaeya. A quest that, like, again, this is a character that was in the first ever episode, I believe, of our series in Genshin, and was in the first ever area. For everybody, when you start playing Genshin, it is one of the earliest characters you meet, and I would say the first character that really adds a bit of, like, ooh, intrigue. You know what I mean? The first, like, when you see them in that domain, you're like, oh, I wonder what they're up to, you know what I mean? I trust Kaeya with all my heart, but also we want to learn more about Kaeya through this story as well. We've read the manga also, which gives us a lot of insight into who Kaeya is, but I feel like this is going to be a whole different story. I'm super excited to find this out. Oh my god. Oh my god. Singing to a bird.
Hey, little birdie, don't feel down.
Huh?
Come and perch on my shoulder. Don't be shy. I'll show you around town.
Kaeya.
Really? No wonder they never pay attention to me. Forget it. I probably shouldn't be anthropomorphizing them anyway.
Oh my god, every time we meet him, he's doing something, like, slightly shady,
Haven't seen
slightly
you in
weird.
some time. To which one of the Animo Archon's wins do I owe the honor?
Guess your natural charisma drew me here.
Oh, is this your way of saying that you missed me?
Every day.
Since it wasn't meant to be with this little birdie, I'd better leave it alone. Let's take a walk, shall we?
Gladly. Gladly. I'm so excited for this. So we're literally going for a walk.
If you're wondering why I'm here, Jean's been worrying about trade safety recently.
Yes.
I discovered this when I unwittingly burst into her office to
So we also know that, like, he came here to make trades with spices and stuff
Another
like that,
job
right?
involving long-distance travel falls to me. I suppose it's my own fault for having such a strong sense of duty.
I'm sorry that it's just so interesting. Like, it's so weird to be with, like, even yesterday I didn't get used to it. Being here with Kaeya
Still,
in
on the
Port
bright
Olmos.
side, business is now taken care of, and I have unused travel funds, so I was planning to...
What do you plan to do? Wait. What do you plan to do?
Gundafar, we are in the middle of a war. Your place is at the front lines by my son's side. Pray tell, what provokes your unwarranted return to the palace?
A matter of utmost importance, Your Majesty, such that I must personally report it to you.
So is this like, it looks like they're on a stage, but, like, is this real or is this a play?
Huh. Outdoor
Yeah,
theater.
it's a play.
Looks fun.
Does look fun, doesn't it? Where were we just now? Travel expenses? Do you want to stop and see the show?
Actually, yes. I saw some guards do a musical performance when I was traveling with their caravan in Sumeru.
This man has, like, a perfect jawline as well. I'm so excited to be with Kaeya. Like, again, and it's not just like here's the thing, like, we all know guys like a handsome man, right? But it's more just like the fact that, like, it feels so interesting. And this happens during the events too, when we go back and we see characters that we haven't seen in a long time. It is always just such, like, a really, like, warm feeling having, like, someone who we've established, like, a relationship with in some way. You know what I mean? It's kind of like, it's exciting to meet new characters, and then it's, like, really warm to talk to them again after a while.
They were desert dwellers. So are these actors. And I think I actually recognize one of them.
Yeah?
Come on, let's go watch.
Sure. So we're legitimately going to watch this stage play with Kaeya. We climbed up the side. We're not elegant. Kachin could be elegant, but I'm
Your
not.
Majesty, not only has God bestowed the throne upon you, but your beloved son, Prince Kubad, has led our brave warriors to victory against Frasyav's army. His men have laid down their arms and fled.
If I ever legitimately described any person, any person or character as elephant, honestly, that would be horrible.
Frasyav's brazen ambition is no more. He has bowed his head and now presents to your majesty an offering of treasures and hostages, as well as a plea for
And
peace.
hostages.
My king, this battle has finally restored the dignity of our people. Moreover, with Frasyav's offer of land comes the opportunity to expand our borders, as your majesty so greatly wishes. His Highness the Prince and I believe this peace settlement will be a great boon to our nation. It is for this reason alone that I have removed my armor and made haste back to our halls from the front lines. My king, what say you to this proposal?
Ah, it's the tale of Prince Kubad. Ever heard this one?
Nope, never.
Don't worry, I still remember the general plot. Let me fill you in on the background while the king
Oh,
deliberates.
thank you. Thank you so much.
The main characters are the brilliant Prince Kubad and his war-hungry father, King Kabus.
Okay.
The one talking to the king right now is Gundafar, the prince's tutor.
Okay.
When the prince was young, the king was deceived by a malicious rumor that the prince had mistreated his stepmother. He demanded that the prince walk through a blazing fire to prove his innocence.
Jesus.
Miraculously, the prince emerged unscathed, thus proving his innocence. But the seeds of doubt had already been sown in the king's mind. Now uneasy in the presence of his mistrustful father, the prince requested to be sent away to the battlefield where he would fight against Frasiev's army. That's the enemy general we heard them mention just
You know
now.
a lot about this.
This is the part where the prince has won the war and decided to forge a peace with the rival nation. He wrote a letter recommending peace to his father. Oh, it looks like the king's made up his mind. Let's keep watching.
It's so cool to see Kaeya interested in this
Frasiov
stuff.
lost because he did not have the blessing of God. Our God will always watch over us and punish our enemies. Once the bells of war have begun to toll, they shall not cease until the blood of our enemies fills the land. There can be no victory until the last enemy soldier has fallen. If Kubad still wishes to be my son and hold the intaglio I bestowed upon him as proof of his royal blood, then he must obey my command.
Your Majesty, I must caution that a nation destroyed is not a fallen city writ large. Now, the loss of one city strikes fear into the hearts of our enemies, compelling them to accept defeat and cede land in exchange for peace. If, however, we insist on bringing a whole nation to its knees, then so long as a single person is left standing, they will see us as their sworn enemy, and one day return to us tenfold the pain that we have inflicted on their nation and family.
This is so unbelievably true. The idea of you basically with war, you basically create another enemy, and it's constant and it's like a cycle. You'll never stop.
My king, a people is to their nation as wild grass to the open prairie. Though we burn down the whole field and spare not one blade of grass, roots continue to grow unseen beneath the surface. Come the spring, it is all but inevitable that fresh green shoots will rise up from the ashes.
If you leave a group of people still alive around, when you have a war, those people are going to grow resentful of the people, obviously, that did come in and tear apart their whole nation.
Cease, Gundafar. Your mind grows dull in your old age, filled with naive delusions. We shall have no more need of you on the battlefield.
It's usually the older people like that, know exactly what happens once a war is finished.
As for my son Kubad, I will summon him back to the capital, so he may be tried by a court-martial.
Jesus, man, your
What
own
are you
son?
saying, my noble king? Why must you mistrust your own flesh and blood and sink ever deeper into the blight of hatred?
Yeah, blight of hatred is the way to put
When he was
it.
falsely accused, you once doubted his honor and made him walk through a raging fire. Did he not prove himself worthy by emerging unharmed from the flames? Now you would turn me away when I seek only to provide the wisdom of counsel. What is the justification for this?
The justification is that my word, not yours, is the law of the land. Cease and be gone, Gundafar, so you may spend the rest of your days with your wife.
Very, 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 this is something that happens in stories quite a bit, and because it's actually, a real thing. It's, usually the people that go through the horrible wars. I think, a perfect example of that is, Iroh from, Avatar The Last Airbender, where it's, someone who has, seen all the horrible things that happen in war and sees how everything ends up, regardless if they're morally just or morally wrong, they usually know how things end up in the end and the effects of a war afterwards. Again, regardless of their moral standing, usually they're able to tell, okay, this is what happened in the war, this is what happened. Now, some of them are awful. It's not every just, old wise man or old person who's able to tell everything that happens in the war afterwards. Some people, still hold that resentment and those feelings of, warmongering sometimes. But it, I guess, depends obviously on the character, but it is obviously an interesting character to have.
What has become of the king that I served with my life? Fanaticism has robbed him of all reason and wisdom. Peace is surely the most favorable path for our nation, yet he refuses to accept it.
And he won't even listen.
I must think of a way to seize control of the army back from the hands of my wayward son, that they might continue the fight to the end. Perhaps the first task should be this. I shall send a loyal contingent of warriors to eliminate Frosiyov and the hostages he has sent to our palace.
Again, creating more dissension and more violence.
Brilliant acting, Darbil.
Oh, you know Darbil. That's his name,
I
Darbil.
saw you approaching us in the middle of the scene. I was worried that my performance would be subpar and you'd think I was just making a fool of myself.
Not at all. Far from it. Actually, let me introduce you. This is Darbil, the actor for King Caboose.
Hello, I am
When we first got to know
Wonder.
each other, he was still a guard for one of the merchant caravans. Seems like he's now made the switch to full-time acting.
Hello.
Nice to meet you. Any friend of Kaeya's is a friend of mine.
Thank you.
To be perfectly honest, I wasn't making all that much as a mercenary. It felt right to me to get away from the danger and live a more stable life. I was already pretty good at telling stories, so I just recruited a few friends and started performing shows all over the country. Full disclosure, we had to put this little stage together using whatever wood and cloth we could borrow. It's really low
It looks
budget.
good for what it is. It looks like a public theater stage.
Anyway, we're all good enough at acting to get through the motions, but none of us are any good at coming up with a script. Everything we tried to write just sounded off somehow.
In what way? Because I think that I definitely think the outline of like the actual topic is a very interesting topic, and it's also a topic that can like you can turn around on people and be like, this is a mirror to what actually happens in real life.
So I got a student from the academia to adapt an old
we
story
go.
I knew to make it more appealing to our audience. What do you think? Passable?
I think again, I think it actually like is something that you again, like I said, a mirror to the audience.
I could tell that you've had someone tighten up the lines. They turned out very nicely.
Ah, that's good. Well, as you can see, even now, we still don't have much of an audience. Don't suppose you'd be interested to see the rest of the show?
Sure, why not? I don't have anything pressing lined up. And I don't think the Traveler does either.
You can make all the decisions you want for me.
Tickets for 2, please. How much would that be?
There's no need for tickets. You could just get some food from Jafar Tavern. We've worked out an
Very
arrangement
cool.
with them.
That's a very cool way. Is hey, you're bringing up business.
Actually found a sponsor for this performance too. He's not too happy about the poor turnout though.
Oh no.
I doubt we'll be able to keep him for the next performance. A real pity. But what can you do, huh?
Darbil Asgar still hasn't shown up for the next scene. We should get his costume and sword out so they'll be ready to go the moment he gets here.
An actor's not here
My
yet?
apologies. I have to get ready for the upcoming scene. I'll see you from the stage.
So order. We actually order food. Yeah, like I think the stage looks really good for it. It's smaller than an actual stage would be, like especially from the stages that we've seen before. Like the stage in Sumeru City is absolutely grand and incredible. But yeah, it's you make it what you can, and I actually think it turned out pretty well. Let's order some food. Oh man, look at this little stall here. That's so cool. Hello. What you got?
Would you two like to order some food? What can I get you? If you're looking for recommendations, today's special is the tandoori roast chicken.
Bear with us a moment. We're just going to take a look at the menu.
How did you become friends with Darbil?
I was at Port Ormos discussing some business opportunities, and some crook was trying to pull a fast one on me. Darbil took pity on me and politely asked him to make himself scarce. He's a good guy. A decent storyteller, too. Quite an interesting character.
I would honestly maybe decent storyteller is not like the right word, but you do tell stories. I would actually use that to describe you too.
There's a lot of fun to be had if you hang around interesting people doing interesting things. Especially if you're in the company of an interesting friend.
I get that vibe anyway.
It's my secret formula for staying in a good mood. Try it out sometime. You'll see what I mean.
I think we're doing that right now.
Thanks for waiting. We're ready to order now. We'll take you up on that tandoori roast chicken.
Oh.
And let's throw in some desserts, too. 1 each of the rose
Oh, my
custard,
custard.
that talumba, and the patisara pudding, please.
Oh my
That should
god.
see us through the show.
That sounds amazing. We're being treated. We're being treated by this lovely man. And we're gonna eat some food here. This is the best. He's so
We've
charming.
got good seats, close to the stage, but also not too crowded. We can watch the show as we eat. If I remember correctly, the next scene should focus on the prince.
Okay.
But I won't spoil it for you. You have to experience it for yourself.
Sounds like this story has made quite an impression on you. Do you like the story?
You could say that. It's always stayed with me because it's hammered home a cruel but realistic truth.
Yeah, I got that too. I got that energy from it for sure.
People do not choose where and when to be born. Yet the circumstances of their birth define the choices that they will have for the rest of their life.
Oh, interesting to hear you say something like this. And I do agree with this. I do.
Here you are. The check's on the table, too. Just call me over when you're ready to settle up.
No need. I'll pay up front. Here. Keep the change.
Thank you, sir. Oh, but this is too generous.
No, take it.
Call it a token of my gratitude for the excellent service. The food all smells wonderful, too. So please pass my compliments to the chef.
This man is so charming.
Thank you so much, sir.
Let's dig in, traveler.
Thank you so much. This is the best. This is the best. A feast. That's what it was. He ordered a lot of food.
Kaeya. I'm so sorry, but the actor who plays the prince has run into some difficulties.
Oh, no.
And won't be able to make it. We can't do the rest of the show without him. So I'm really, really sorry, but we'll have to call the show right.
This is probably a stupid question to say, can you use an understudy, but I'm going to ask it anyway, because obviously they probably don't have the same resources that, like, say, Liyue would have. Oh. Can Kaeya fill in?
Ooh, that would be fun. I wouldn't say no.
Yeah, like this is it. This is like when you like you like it's like that friend who like will absolutely like not that they have no shame, but it's just like they don't get like embarrassed. There's no embarrassment. There's no like shyness. It's like, okay, I'll do it.
Darbil, would you lose any income if I were to mess this up?
Not really. I mean, there's not much of an audience here anyway. I wouldn't want to take too much of your time.
Oh my God, no! We gotta see this.
Don't worry about that. I like to be spontaneous now and then. Spice things up a little.
Yes.
Let me think. Well, you already know the story, so you just need to memorize a few lines. Huh, you know what? This might actually work.
I need to see
but
this.
Kubot has a specific costume he's supposed to wear, and there's no way you'd fit into it.
Oh.
Switching actors is one thing, but wearing street clothes on stage would really ruin the immersion. Yeah, I don't think this is gonna work.
Well, good thing that I've actually got a costume with me.
What?
It goes pretty well with your stage, too.
You're kidding. Can you show it to me?
Sure. If you can show me the way to your changing room.
It's in the restaurant.
Is this the
Follow me.
the alt costume that you can get for Kaeya? Because I remember like this being in the menu, right? Is this the alt costume? It is. Oh my God, there's people that are really the nails. That are big fans of this. Big fans of this. Oh, flipping the coin there as well. That is a costume and a half. Look at that.
Gotta say, I think I actually look pretty dapper in this. It's a pity I don't have many opportunities to wear it in public.
You're such a show off, but you do look pretty good. I didn't know this costume was for this. Because I talked to this before, I do think it looks really, really good. I think I'm like just always a big, this could sound so weird. Like I'm always a bigger fan, I think sometimes, depending on the character. Like, because like it's like, Xiao, I think his pants are like perfect. Kaeya, I think his like tighter pants are perfect. You know what I mean? It's like it depends on the character sometimes. But this looks pretty good. I didn't know if this was what it was for though.
Uh-oh, not a fan of me as a prince? I'll have to act my heart out so you'll be too dazzled to make any digs.
I would not make any digs about this. You look great.
Kaeya, here's your script for the next scene. It's not too long, but you also don't have very long to prepare. Do you think you can memorize your lines in time?
Only one way to find out.
He does look really good. And I really like, again, I really love that they use alt costumes like this in this game sometimes. Where it's like an actual thing of the story. I didn't know this was what it was from though. Like I thought it was just like a nice costume you get.
Okay, I think we've covered all your lines and movements on stage. You haven't had long to prepare, so don't worry about forgetting your lines. We'll remind you.
Sure.
All right, I'm good to go.
You are gonna do amazing.
Great. Then let's get this show on the road.
I love how he's feeling himself as well, like so excited to wear this costume. Oh my god. No, like, I love people being, like, confident, especially people who deserve to be confident, and Kaeya is definitely that person, you know what I mean? I'd much rather someone be confident than be really down on themselves.
General Kubad, son of Kabus, the fate of this battle is clear.
Can I say this right now? I think I've talked about it before with people because I've seen this costume before, and I've been like, man, like, obviously, like, I prefer the other costume, but I think in action it might, like, feel a little bit different. It's the same with, like, Ito, right? It's like you see, like images of Ito around the place, but then when you see him in action, it's like a completely different story. Like, in the actual game itself, right? In the actual story itself, it always looks a tiny bit different because the boots are so cool.
I beg you, please spare my few remaining men. They no longer have the strength to fight back.
For a man who's so good at fighting as well, he has such elegant hands also.
Frasyav, though you now lead only the
Oh my
husk
God.
of a once mighty army, I have no desire to crush your dignity. Even your most savage warriors have no desire to see further bloodshed, and none among your ranks have opposed these peace talks.
The nails as well, though.
I must hear it from you one final time.
And I think it's because there's no gloves, like you can see, like, I don't know. It's just, I'm focusing too much on the outfit, I think, with, like, there's dialogue to be read as well.
General Frasyav, do you agree to sign a treaty in good faith and commit from this day forth to peace between our nations?
So he's looking for peace, the actual prince. He's so pretty.
With my army in ruins, I am in no position to do otherwise, but on this, I give you my word. Yes, let us end our hostilities and send our surviving men home to their families.
And this is not what his father wanted.
We share the desire to lay down our arms for good and liberate our hearts from the dirge of hatred. Then as God above is our witness, by the authority vested in me by this intaglio of King Kabus, I hereby declare that I will spare your hostages and what remains of your army. May peace be restored to this land, and may these fields of war become a place where crops grow aplenty.
Of course, like, and Kai's so good at acting as well. And and it's not because, like, they're constantly acting, because they are themselves, I feel like, but I feel like they're also, like, very good when they're talking to people. Like, I don't know what would you call it? They're very good at, like, adding a mystique to themselves, maybe unintentionally or intentionally so. So, like, I feel like they always have, like, the switch turned on all the time, you know, when they're talking to people. But they are them. It's hard to describe it, right?
My tutor, Gundafar, has already made haste to my father, the king, with the recommendation of a truce. It is my sincere hope that he will see that peace as a path to prosperity and grant me his blessing.
Prince Kubad, your name is renowned throughout your land and ours. I will place my hope in your words.
I never expected we'd be here when we're doing
no
this.
No master of ceremonies, nor the paper on which a treaty may be signed. In their absence, let us raise our weapons and swear an oath. I, Kubad,
Oh, wow.
son of Kabus, hereby pledge protection to you and all of your kin. May the oceans be stained red with my blood if I am ever to renounce this oath.
Kai, you're so good. That
Wow.
picture's so fucking...
Your friend is
Oh,
so
I almost swore.
dreamy.
That's so good.
He's not a real prince by any chance, is he?
You know, honestly, related to some kind of royalty in a way.
Hey, Rashana, you don't want to miss this. The good-looking guy who left that huge tip is acting on stage with Darbil's
Oh my
crew.
god. Kaya's won everyone over.
Darbil's one lucky man.
Yes. This is so good because, like, it's like...
I return, Your Highness. I
Well, I'll
hope
say
I'm
it in a
not too
second.
late. Have you already promised peace to Frasyav?
It's like, you know, like, it's like, I don't know. He's already got, like, such a head start with everybody here. He's made such a good impression on everybody. Like, and I feel like he does have the type of personality where, like, everyone in Mondstadt, like, is so used to him that they're always just like, okay, Kaeya, okay. But they still like him, of course. You know, Gene's talked about in, like, the manga how, like, he'll be doing stuff, like by himself sometimes and be like, oh, where is he? He's like, you know, because you don't know what he's doing at any given day because he has his own interests and stuff like that. But in this case, like, imagine having that, like, the first thing someone uses to describe you is that good-looking guy who gave the tip is acting up there. You are the good-looking guy who gave a generous tip. Already you have such a head start with everybody here. They're going to love him.
Nay, I am not so rash as to preempt my father's blessing. I promised only what I could so far, the safety of his kin.
My child, I must share with you the gravest news. Caboose has become blinded by fanaticism and hatred, and will stop at nothing to vanquish every last man under Frasiov's lead.
Ryan, that's what he wanted to do, wasn't
How can
it?
this be? You mean to say that my father has rejected our proposal for peace?
He has indeed. I urged him to reconsider, and for this I was rebuked and dismissed from his service.
Wait a second.
But far stricter punishment than this awaits you, should you return home with your troops.
Wait a second.
Please heed my warnings, dear child. I dare not imagine what unspeakable atrocities your father intends to commit.
I think they're trying to say something with this here. I
Nay.
think so.
The truce must stand. I cannot renounce my oath. How can man claim to stand above beast without remaining true to his word?
There is a theory that I heard, multiple patches before this. And that theory is that, because we talked about, like Mona has in her dialogue, we talked about this yesterday as well. Mona has in her dialogue an idea about Kaeya choosing the right choice, or choosing a choice, by the way. And there is a theory that Kaeya has been sent to infiltrate Mondstadt, right? Whilst from my perspective yesterday, I when I wrote all this stuff down and talked about it, he doesn't know why he was sent to Mondstadt. Is this them trying to play on the fact where it's like he is a prince who was sent into battle and now has the option to either go with what his father is saying and just, and help destroy, I guess, this group of people, i.e. Mondstadt, or he has to stick to his oath or stick to his friendships in this case and stick with the people of Mondstadt. I don't know, maybe, I don't think they do anything by accident in this
The
game.
masses have grown weary of death and conflict in both our nation and theirs. Are we all now to bend to his will and massacre countless more to satisfy a desire that is his alone?
Wow.
When I departed my beloved home to fight in a foreign land, I did so to honor
Oh
his
my
wishes
God.
and for my duty to our people.
There's no way that they're just saying all this stuff for no reason.
Alas, is this fate's grand design? Is this fate's grand design?
Oh, is that a cue, or is he thinking about
Kaeya.
something?
The next line is,
Oh,
alas, is this fate's grand design that I should spend the rest of my days in a foreign land till I am laid
What
to
the
rest in a
hell?
grave far from home?
is this not gonna... This must hit home so hard.
Must it be so?
Oh, it is. They're not even... Yes.
Huh?
Wait, that's not.
Oh my
part
God,
of
they're
the
not
script.
even like...
Kaeya, did you not hear me?
Yeah.
My dear audience, I ask you this.
Huh?
Do you believe in fate?
No.
If fate decreed that your life was to end in tragedy, what would you do?
Fate. The idea of fate again. I know, maybe, this is not the place always to, that has heavy lore, but, the sinner talked to us about fate, defying fate. What? Did you just throw a prop to me? Seems like an improv with the audience. I guess I should play along. I would bravely face I would challenge my fate and rise above it.
Oh? Then so must it be. Yes, so must it be.
Now, what was said here was, so did you believe in fate? If it decreed your life is to end in tragedy, what would you do? But here's the problem. Okay, maybe I chose the wrong answer here, because my dear ones, what would you do? Do you believe in fate? If fate is decreed your life would end in tragedy, what would you do? I think we would try and challenge my fate and rise above it, but that's what the sinners said to us to do, in my view, that they want us to go against our fate. So is this what the sinner would want? I don't know, maybe I'm reading too much into it.
I shall discard this intaglio and rid myself of the shackles of fate.
Wait, but that's not... My dear prince, do you intend to betray your father?
But maybe this was
and
this...
abandon your heritage?
Fate means to send the machinations of war to every corner of the land, to fan the flames of conflict till they engulf the entire world.
Wow.
Fate would see my sword tainted with the blood of innocents. that the bright banner of my homeland might fly in every nation.
This
known
is
to
insane.
mankind.
This is insane.
But I shall not bow to the will of fate. I am no pawn in heaven's plan.
Bravo!
I
Where
did
did
not
this guy
expect
come
them to
from?
do this.
Is he
Like,
one of
again,
the
there's
new
no,
hires?
there is, I'm not, Genshin doesn't just put stuff in for the sake of it. There is no doubt in my freaking mind that they're trying to relate this to his journey.
Shut up. Stop interrupting.
I, Kubad, will spend the rest of my days in a foreign land till I breathe my
Dear
last
Christ.
in a place far from home.
Oh, at least he brought it back in the end.
Yeah, but like that
Prince
felt
Kubad,
personal.
My child, there is no need to be rash. Please bring at least your fortune and the retainers who will always be loyal to you.
Gundafar, my dear mentor, you have always been like a father to me. It brings me only anguish to bid you farewell.
I am shaking.
But
I am
must
shaking.
walk this path, or freedom dies by my hand. Goodbye, my tribe and kin. Farewell, sweet land of my
There's
birth.
no. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Goodbye, my
I'm so
child.
sorry. There's no doubt in my mind that, like, again, they don't just say stuff for the sake of it. They were trying to, in my view, they were trying to relate that to what we just learned. We just learned about all this stuff in the last Archon quest that we just did, Carabre. It is legitimately, we know that that Kaeya is related to the founder of the Abyss Order. Not only that, but we know that there is a want in revenge against the gods from the people of Conria, at least from Ide, from Clothar. Clothar was so bitter, and you know, like from their perspective, their place was destroyed, the Cataclysm and all this stuff. And we know that there is like a conversation about, like, you know, choice and what Kaeya must choose in the end. Will he choose, you know, to defend Mondstadt, or will he choose to raise it to the ground and help to raise the flag of Conria in all parts of Tevat? And in this sense, in this play, it related a little bit too much to, like, what we know about, or what we feel about him. I don't know, man.
Ooh,
Very interesting way to do
Prince
it.
Kubad. Could I please get your autograph?
Look at this.
Why, certainly, ma'am.
Oh, I certainly, of course.
Thank you. I'll just go find a pen.
I want autograph too.
Just an autograph? Well, you can get one of those at any time.
What else can I get?
Acting is quite fun. If there ever came a day when I left the Knights of Favonius, I think I might go into acting
That's the thing.
full-time.
My personal feelings is that you won't ever leave the Knights of Favonius fully.
Darbil, could you introduce me to this young man?
Everyone wants to know him.
My apologies, Master Toos. I somehow missed you in the crowd earlier.
This is incredible.
I was some distance away. I just came over near the end after I noticed the large crowd gathered around the stage. The performance was outstanding across the board. I knew that the poor turnout over the
Oh,
past
this is
few
the
days was
sponsor.
just bad luck. It was only ever a matter of time before you hit it big.
All you had to do was put a beautiful man on stage with a with an eye patch and had him do all this sweet talking and stuff. Wow.
The improvised section was particularly good. I think you could include some
Oh
improvisation.
my God,
to
guys
staple
changed
in
everything.
Future performances. As for the prop he threw, no need to get it back. It's fairly cheap anyway.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. And
That
a big
is another
thanks
thing, by
also
the
to
way.
our wonderful prince.
The symbolic
Kaeya not
nature of
agreed
him.
to fill in, we might have disbanded right on the spot.
The symbolic nature of him handing it to us, by the way, is, like, to me, like, it's not a coincidence that literally the mission before this that unlocks this mission is a mission where, like, you know, we were also asked questions, and it was thrown to us, this idea, right, of, like, will you defy your fate? Will you stand up and, like, and be resentful, give into your anger? This idea of giving into your anger is also a part of this play as well.
Kaeya, was it? Well, young man, I must say you've made quite the impression on me. My caravan is always loaded with the finest food and wines. You're welcome to visit at
Does this
any
happen
time.
wherever he goes? I bet.
Thank you for the invite, sir. But I'm afraid I've reached the end of my time in Sumeru. I'm sure that my friends and family in Mondstadt must be missing me terribly.
That's the thing. They all, like, respect him so much in Mondstadt. It's obviously just like a very playful, like familial, like annoyance that you have sometimes. Because that's what I always feel when people get annoyed at each other in Mondstadt. Like, you know, when people get annoyed at Klee, it's not because they don't like Klee. It's because that's like their family. You know what I mean? The same way that like when like, you know, Lisa maybe like gets under someone's skin sometimes, or Kaeya does. It's like it's not an annoying thing to the point of like I don't like you. It's like we respect him so much.
Well then, consider it an open invitation. Once you've been bitten by the travel bug, my friend, you'll be getting itchy feet again before too
Wow.
long. My door is always open. If you're ever interested, please ask Darbil to reach out to me. Darbil, we can continue discussions on the sponsorship once you've wrapped up today's show. I'm going back to the inn.
Thank you so much, Master Tooth. I'll see you shortly. Seriously, Kaeya, thank you for bailing me out again. You're a good guy. May the gods bless you.
No, he is. We respect him so much. We really do.
You should stay for a few more days. I owe you a meal at the very least.
Darbil, Asgar is back. He lost track of time playing Genius Invocation TCG.
Understandable.
We've got to sort him out.
Sort him out.
Genius Invocation again? Ah, that does it. That kid's not getting away with it this time. Please excuse me, Kaeya. I will be right back.
Sure, there's no rush.
At least we get to talk to Kaeya now as well.
Okay, I think they're all gone. Let's slip away now while we can.
That's like his personality completely. No, like actually really great. Really fantastic. Like I thought it was just gonna be fun to see like him in a play. But like there's no way, no one can stop me, by the way. No one's gonna stop me. I'm not gonna stop relating that to his life. There's no coincidence here. There is not a coincidence here. He stopped and thought about it, then passed it to us. This is not a coincidence. This is called incredible. Absolutely incredible.
All right, this should be far enough. Don't think they'll find me here.
So yeah, you didn't want to say, weren't you going to sign some
People
autographs?
were starting to expect a lot of things that I didn't sign up for. Besides, the missing actor is back now. Darbil shouldn't be needing me to stand in again. I don't mind socializing, but compared to chatting over food and drink, I much prefer just going wild on the stage.
So that's interesting. It's like again, it's like we talk about like Kai being like very confident in themselves, but they're not so like vain that they'd need to stick around for everyone's adulation for a long time, you know?
What about you? Did you enjoy the show?
I wasn't expecting the improv section. Mostly I was curious to know what was going through your mind on stage, please.
I was expecting a lengthier critique, but you've thrown the question right back at me. Sneaky.
Sneaky, yeah?
All right, I'll rise to your challenge.
Yeah?
Let me think. All the world's a stage, and all the people merely players. Does that answer your question?
I am gonna read into this that you were saying that everything is one. All of the world is a stage, you're saying. So what you said in the stage applies to the real world as well.
Perhaps there's an inept god out there deciding everyone's fates, much like the academia student drafting Darbil's scripts. Yeah, inept is a good word for it. Honestly, it might even be a little too civil to describe a god who turns fathers against their sons and is bent on endless warmongering, don't you think?
Kaeya. I do. It might be too civil to describe a god who turns their father against their sons and is bent on endless warmongering, don't you think?
Anyway, that's exactly why actors need to wake up and realize they don't have to follow the script. There's nothing to stop them from following their gut and making it up as they go along.
Does this inept god really exist?
Oh, my dear traveler, please don't take me too literally.
Sorry.
I don't want you to get the wrong idea. The god is just a figure of speech.
Okay.
The real point I'm making is about the actors.
Okay. I told you, no one can stop me.
Everyone, you and I included, is both an actor and a member of the audience. If you don't like the script, just walk off the stage and join the audience. You always have a choice.
Let's hope he'll explain
A
more.
little too obtuse? Well, don't dwell
This
on
man!
it. It's nothing worth losing sleep over. I was just thinking aloud.
Dear Lord.
Relax. Be yourself. Do your thing. That's all I'm really trying to say.
Yeah, and again, him saying this afterwards is like putting a band-aid over like a I'm not even putting a band-aid over it. It's like, it's almost like, you know, drawing part of a painting of us together. Like, just like a painting of us, like, having dinner together. And, like, he adds, like, some detail in the back, and you're like, wait, what's that? What are you talking about here? What do you mean by this part of the painting? And the next day you come back, and he's like, yeah, see, I told you, this, like, thing in the back. And he adds something to it and, like, changes it a little bit. And he's like, you were reading too much into it, buddy. Don't worry about it.
When I did my little bit of audience interaction back there, you had no time to prepare. You had to just say what you thought in the moment. I think those spontaneous thoughts are
He's
often
amazing.
the most authentic. And that's why I liked your answer. You're still holding on to the intaglio I threw you from the stage, right? Keep it. Think of it as a souvenir from my improvised
We're the only
performance.
fan that got something, by the way. I'm going to go back to that person that needed an autograph and show it to her. Oh, you looking for an autograph? Look at this.
It's been the most fascinating day, hasn't it, little
And
birdie?
back to the start. Oh. Wait. Oh my god. Oh, answer. So it must be. Yes, yes, so it must be. Wow. This, I think it's hard to say that that wasn't the most poignant hangout quest that we've gotten in a long, long time. Not because like it's not about being like better or worse. It's just like legitimately like the most important one we've gotten so far. I would say that. That's what I would say. To talk about it really quickly, not even really quickly, let's go through this. What I was getting from that whole thing, as I said before, was the idea that Kaeya is going to have to make a decision. I think what Mona said is actually, you know, becoming more apparent here. And I think that the play that they were doing there is 100% what made him start thinking about that. The idea of like, oh, wait, should I betray my father? Should I betray the people that like my homeland? Should I disgrace my homeland? Should I allow my homeland to come in here and like wage a war? It's like really adding to the idea that I'm starting to believe fully that at some point there will be a war, and that's what's being prepared here. And I wonder if the Loom of Fate has something to do with that as well. I wonder if it does. Absolutely terrifying in that respect. And then at the end there, he spoke of the idea of like what kind of inept god, right? Talking about the idea of an inept god. And the idea of allowing for such destruction. Could it be talking about the Cataclysm? Or, again, here's the thing. I fully acknowledge that when it comes to Kaeya, you know, all of it, 100% could be all, like, related to something very important. 30% could be related to something important, and 70% could just be him being playful. 100% could just be him being playful. You know, 80% could be really important. 20% could be being playful. You know what I mean? Like, you never know, and that's what makes his character so interesting. Very, 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 very cool. So we have the first hangout section done. We're going to have to do the other one here. So I guess we're going to have to, like, disagree. Not disagree. We're going to have to maybe not do the play. That's what we're going to have to do for the next one. Let's talk to him.
Gundafar, we were in
So
the
we can
middle...
skip this. And then I'm guessing the choice will be travel expenses.
Yes. Here's what I was thinking about the unused funds. Given that the acting Grand Masters saw fit to allocate these funds to my trip in the first place,
Gene.
I think it's my responsibility to make sure that every last mora is put to good use. In other words, what do you say we find a way to spend
That
the
sounds
remaining
so
budget?
fun.
Perhaps a fancy meal at a nice restaurant? Or a river cruise that takes in the sights of Sumeru City? Or we could buy a few nice mementos to take home.
Is this embezzlement?
Hey, no need to put it like that. Let's keep walking. We can consider it some more on the road. The rules of the Knights of Favonius state that any and all expenditures during a business trip are counted as travel expenses. That's more than enough justification to live a little.
Honestly, like, I'm so
Of
for
course,
it.
with me being here on my own, it was looking like a wasted opportunity.
But technically,
But now that I've run into you, why don't we make this
Exactly.
a joint trip?
yes, that's what I was going to say. I was going to say that because I'm also a Knight of Avonius, you could say that, like, well, I met a Knight of Avonius and he needed
You're
food.
always so
you know?
busy. It's high time you gave yourself a proper break. Even the sharpest blade loses its edge if it's always in use.
Yeah.
Regular maintenance is essential for reliable performance.
You just said that we're really good, by the way, and we need a break.
And anyway,
Thank you.
life is short, so we should make the most of the time we have. Right now is the perfect time to relax and enjoy ourselves. And who knows how many other chances we'll get. So come on, what do you say?
I'm for it. I'm all for it. We can spend public money on our own amusement. Let me take you somewhere new. So these are the two choices. So we'll go with this one first.
Great. Music to my ears. I'll cover the travel costs, of course.
Guys, can I just say 100% it is not right to use public costs on yourself. This is something that happens in government organizations and it is not good. I want to say that to you right now if you're watching this. But I'll say this as well, right? So you agree? Let's just have some fun with Kaeya for a bit, okay? We're gonna have to do this choice anyway. We know it's wrong. Let's just do it, okay?
There's nothing more enjoyable than the company of a good friend. Let's call this a nice little excursion to round off my long business trip.
Like, my personal feelings are like an official in a kind of like a governmental position should not spend the funds on themselves. But this is Kaeya, and we are having a dinner with Kaeya, okay? So today, it's a moral Calvin, okay? You're meeting a moral Calvin coming in here.
Now, let me think where we should go. I've seen a lot of Sumeru already, so let's go for someplace new.
Sure.
How about Liyue?
What?
I'd be heading past there on my way back to Mondstadt anyway.
So there's multiple choices here.
it's
Like,
out
no
of the
problem,
way.
let's go.
Well, lucky me.
Oh, the love hearts?
I'll hold you to that.
Lucky me getting to show you
Liyue's
around.
Ministry of Civil Affairs frequently corresponds with the Knights of Favonius. So the address on their letterhead is one of the few places I'm familiar with. I don't have much luggage, so it won't take me long
Oh
to
my god,
pack.
and packing up.
Give me a moment, and then we'll head there together.
Sure. Do you need me to carry your bags? We're just look how far away that is. Watch. Look, it's gonna show how far away it is in a second, right? No? Yes, it is. It's nearly 3,000 meters away because we're going back to Liyue with freaking Kaeya. That's so good. Physically, we haven't been here in Liyue for a mission. No, we have for Baiju, actually. Yeah, we have for Baiju, but it's been a few weeks. It's definitely been a few weeks. Has it? When was the Baiju one? Everything's like going by so fast, guys. When did we do the Baiju one? I think we just did it. No, we did Yoimiya's last week and Baiju's, right? Was that last week? Guys, let me check.
Life balance,
Baiju's
but
quest.
I think this is pushing it.
Oh yeah, by the way, Kaching is telling us to actually like, just to not stop taking a break. It was 10 days ago from this recording. So by the time you see this, it'll be 12 days ago when we did the Baiju quest. It's crazy because, like, can I say, it feels like I did the Baiju quest yesterday. It also feels like I did it 2 months ago sometimes, you know what I mean? It also feels like, and I feel like that way a lot of quests. It's like, it really feels like, you know, the Jean quest was yesterday. The Jean story quest. Like, this has become such an intrinsic part of all my weeks. And everything just like, you know, it's like, time is going by so fast. Is time even real?
I've heard that there's lots to see and do in Liyue, but I'm sure you're more familiar with the place than I am, so I'll leave the itinerary to you.
I have friends all over Liyue, so we can get some good score some good discounts.
Excellent. Well, hopefully I'll get to know some of these friends for myself.
It's so funny because he's dressed for like high winds, right? Which actually like would be here in Liyue too because of the ocean, right?
It's such a satisfying feeling to just drop everything, go on a long trip, and see something new.
That sounds amazing. That sounds amazing.
Who knows who we might cross paths with? We might even end up going on an impromptu adventure. Just like how I met you in Port Ormos, and now we're here. Come on, let's see what's up ahead.
And now we're walking around Liyue Harbor with Kaeya. What a day
Do
we're
you know
having.
this shop? It looks pretty nice from the outside. Shall we take a look?
Sure. This is special. This is a special hangout.
Welcome to Mingxing Jewelry.
We are a long-established trader of precious stones. Is there anything in particular you're looking for?
Just something for the lovely man here. They say it's supposed to be multiple times of your salary. Now, I just make money constantly, so just quadruple that and see where it goes.
Let me see. Some nice jewelry you've got here. Maybe I can grab something with a local flavor as a souvenir. What do you think, traveler? See anything that suits my style?
Let's check
I
if they
trust
sell
your
anything
judgment.
off the shelf. Already buying up souvenirs. Thank you for trusting my judgment, by the way. Goods from mentioning jewelry don't come cheap. Are you sure? Let's check if they sell anything off the shelf.
Ah, you're interested in souvenirs. If you're struggling to decide, you might want to consider getting some jade. You can't go wrong with a nice jade pendant.
Heck yeah, thank
They're
you.
an elegant addition to your look, whatever your age or gender. If you're looking for a specific design, we can make it to your specifications. It does take some time to fulfill an order, however. High-quality jade is hard to come by, so our waiting list is at least a couple of weeks.
Oh, okay. We don't know if we have that time.
Oh, that's a pity. I'm just visiting and I won't be in town for very long. So as much as it pains me to do so, I'm afraid I'll have to leave this beautiful bijou behind.
No worries at all, sir. If you're looking for something off the shelf, why not go and see Mr. Shurto at the Jade Mystery? He also deals in jade and precious stones.
Oh, you mean the guy with the uncut stones?
Exactly. But on that note, let me give you a word of advice.
Sure.
There's no risk in purchasing a piece of jade that's already been cut. But you could lose all of your mora betting on uncut rocks. I won't say any more, as I don't want my fellow vendors to think I'm bad-mouthing them. But I think you catch my drift.
I think this is like an unwritten code of like Liyue, when like in the contracts, like I think maybe you're not supposed to like, you know, it's a very collaborative space. I think when it comes to like shopping and stuff like that, there is competition and things like this, but like everyone kind of does help each other out in a lot of ways.
It's only human nature to spend a little when you're on a trip, but don't be too hasty to part with your cash.
Great advice. Great advice.
The Ministry of Civil Affairs takes everyone's economic well-being very seriously, and they often send out the Millilith to spread public awareness of well-known scams. As guests here, I'd encourage you to watch out for anyone trying to rip you off.
I think that's sound advice wherever you go into that. We appreciate it, boss.
You know, it is good advice. It's really good advice. And by the way, boss, calling everyone boss, brilliant. Oh, before we go, Kaeya, this is a cat. I know what a cat is. I've seen a cat. Yeah, but this is a Liyue cat. Liyue cats say, Mo. And Sumeru cats say, Meow. Yeah. And cats from the chasm, they say, get me out of here. How did I get here? Very interesting animals cats are. They're very strange. Very strange individuals. Okay, let's check out the stall. So this is the place that we went with Zhongli before, right? And without Zhongli, though, was it Zhongli? Yeah, I remember we did come here with Zhongli, yes, to check out the stones.
Welcome! Looking for uncut stones or pre-cut jade? We've got plenty of both for your viewing pleasure.
How about you sell me the right ones?
Uncut stones. Ah, yes, we were just briefed on that. Let's take a look at the pre-cut jade.
We should be careful.
I believe I detect a quiet but distinct tone of apprehension in your words. Please rest assured, there's nothing to be quite so wary about with my business.
Didn't Zhongli like buy them all at one point?
Feel free to peruse at your leisure. I think you'll find that everything I do here is entirely above board and legitimate, and I sell only pure and unadulterated goods. No scam guaranteed.
Okay.
Sure, you can bet on jade and lose if you're unlucky, but that doesn't make it a scam.
I think you're talking about the fact that like it's only a scam, I guess, if you know there's nothing in there. Right? If you knew there was nothing in the jade, those uncut jades, then it would be a scam.
My terms are clear and transparent, and I only do business with willing customers. What scammer can claim that?
Like, if I bought a booster pack of Yu-Gi-Oh cards and there was nothing in them, no one knew I was going to buy that cards. The cards, literally the booster pack behind it could have been like the most important booster pack of my life.
Sounds perfectly reasonable. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter how much the vendor is charging. If the customer decides to hand over their money, they're taking the bait of their own
This
free
is an
will.
interesting way of looking at it, I suppose, right? but also at the same time, I feel like some people do scam people, and some people do get tricked into buying things.
Yes, exactly. I'm glad you understand. Although your peculiar phrasing at the end there, you almost make it sound as if I really am.
No, that's what he was
scamming
saying. That's what he was saying. He was saying it's everyone else's fault, though.
Anyway, betting on Jade is what it is. Feel free to try your luck, but if you can't afford to lose, then it's not for you. We don't need to cause each other any trouble. I'll leave you to browse at your own pace now while I deal with other potential customers.
Amber-colored jade would probably make for a good souvenir.
Are we thinking about buying?
Why not? This is a quirky little place. Somehow, I'm inclined to entertain him for a bit.
I have better quality pieces than these.
Well, if you're not interested, then I guess we'll pass.
Ahoy there, Captain! Fancy seeing you back in town. Struck any gold lately?
What, a poor sailor like me? You must be joking. I barely managed to make ends meet. What about you, Chateau? Still scamming people with your pile of rocks?
I kind of miss seeing Captain Wu just walk around the town every single day.
Hey!
Or the harbor.
Keep your voice down. Can't you see I've got customers? But more to the point, when have you ever seen a customer get scammed in my store?
By the way, openly just saying this in front of him is absolutely hilarious.
I mean, you want the full list, or...
A full list?
Captain Kaeya!
Wait, what?
Captain?
Captain?
You to Liyue.
Oh, just taking a short trip with my friend. It's been a while.
Oh my god, he has a perfect complexion. And he's a captain. And he's a performer. And he's a Knight of Evodius. And he tips well.
Yes, it's been a good while, hasn't it?
He's a walking green flag. Apart from all the shadiness.
Anywhere you'd recommend I visit while I'm here?
Let me think. Wanmin Restaurant's always a pretty good bet. Chef Mao's daughter is a skilled chef.
All right.
And their prices are very reasonable. My wife can't get enough of their boiled fish. You could give that
I
a
think
try.
that's actually not a bad idea.
And, speaking of my wife, she won't let me forget what a great help you've been to us before. So thank you.
What did you do here, Kaeya?
Your wife? Ah, yes. How is she doing these days?
Very well, thank you. Very well. Anyway, I've got something I need to do down at the South Wharf, so my apologies, Captain Kaeya, but I'd better get going.
All right. See you.
Okay. So he did something nice for these people, and also he's being called Captain Kaeya as well.
I finally remembered who that was. Captain Wu.
No.
He runs a
No.
transport business between
No.
Mondstadt and Liyue.
Did he just bluff through that whole conversation? Is that what he just did?
I see. So you went through that whole conversation with no idea who you were talking to.
Oh my
Well, that
God.
explains the generic pleasantries and the general awkwardness.
He's perfect. Like, imagine being able to do that. I honestly, if I don't remember who someone is, I probably would again, it's not happened to me many times where they're like, oh, it's me. Hey, it's me. Remember? I don't think it has happened to me, but I wonder how I would react in that way.
Old Wu's usually quite the chatterbox, so it's very unusual for him to just take off mid-conversation. How exactly do you two know each other anyway?
Maybe owes Kaeya a favor?
An educated guess. Yes, you could put it like that.
I can't get over your complexion.
It's pretty straightforward, honestly. The captain was making a delivery to Mondstadt when his ship sprang a leak. He overexerted himself fixing it and keeping the cargo dry, and ended up passing out from exhaustion. I took him to Mondstadt to recover.
You saved his life.
Well, it still seems strange to me. Sure, he's hardly the most charming conversationalist, and he's also mighty stubborn, but all of us know old Wu is an honest and kind-hearted man. His eldest was once playing on that big rock over there when he took a tumble and injured himself. I helped to patch the kid up, and the next day, old Wu was here to buy a couple of uncut stones.
Oh, wow.
I'm just surprised he was so quick to excuse himself, that's all. Normally, he's the kind of guy who, if you run into him on the street and he owes you a favor, he'll grab you by the hand and thank you profusely until you ask him to stop.
Well, stubborn, I can believe. Someone had drilled a gaping hole in his ship, and the water was coming in fast. How he managed to make it all the way to Mondstadt, not to mention with his cargo intact, I have no idea.
Someone drilled a hole in his ship? Oh dear.
There must have been one of the less savory captains out there trying to sabotage his business so they can squeeze their way into the market. When competition is stiff, sometimes things get ugly. It's the way of the world, unfortunately. His line of work isn't easy. The poor fellow usually has to set sail before the break of dawn. He's been loitering around a lot these past few weeks, though. I thought maybe he'd come into Samora.
Right.
Competition is fierce these days.
Because he has time to hang
There's
around?
not a lot of Mora to be made in shipping. So every day he stays idle is another negative in the books. I do wonder what's gotten into him.
Right, so we have a very chatty person who was hardworking and now is being idle around the place. And ended the conversation very early.
Anyway, I digress. We merchants protect our goods like our own lives, so who knows? Maybe he had some important cargo to see to. Either way, good sir, don't mind him.
Kaeya is a kind soul. And again, like, this is why, like, I think, you know, again, when I always say shady about Kaeya, it's not that, like, I don't think you guys would ever take the idea of the word shady as an insult, because it's not. I just think that Kaeya's very good at, like, you know, even Jean says, like, Kaeya's probably doing something. Like, it was in the manga, I remember Jean was like, oh, Kaeya's just off doing something. You know what I mean? Whatever Kaeya's doing at this moment. And it's that shadiness, I think, though, that is, like, maybe, like, you can't always call it shadiness. It's just very, like, he's very observant of people around him. And when there's a problem that needs to be solved, he is someone who, like, observes it very, very well and sees it. And, like, sometimes he'll get it wrong. We saw that, like, not even get it wrong. Because, like, from his perspective with Kaeya, we can't look at that as something he was trying to do as evil. He saw it as just like, this is the cause of the caravan burning. I have to do something about this. That's what he did. But he is, like, someone who, like, is always, like, the first, or at least one of the first. I think it's always, like, my estimation of this is all headcanon, but it's all based on stuff that happened, like, in the manga and stuff that happens in this game as well. Kaeya will always find out something or have a suspicion first and then follow that suspicion. Diluc, we never see it sometimes, will also have a similar suspicion about something that's happening in Mondstadt and will be following it as well on his side. And they usually, like, dovetail in the middle. And while that is happening in between all that, Lisa also has those suspicions. And then usually Lisa then helps with those suspicions by helping Jean. That's my estimation of how things work there. But yeah, I know. But he's a kind soul.
I am an upstanding member of the Knights of Favonius, after all. Just look me in the eyes. Don't you find me trustworthy?
I trust you. I trust you in a way that maybe, like, you know, some people wouldn't.
Since you asked about recommendations earlier, you're here from Mondstadt, yes? Might I suggest the tea house is somewhere to rest your legs?
Nice. Yeah.
If memory serves, they're just about to retell the tale of Bravebeard the Valiant from the top. Why not pay them a visit?
Huh. Sounds interesting enough. Let's check it out.
This is a dream, though, man. Like, this is such a nice... Oh, there's a mission down here, by the way. Oh, it's that moving soldier. This is such a nice hangout. Like, it really is. And, like, I remember I answered a Q&A question before, who I want to, because I think it's... not that it's changed. Because I still would love to, like, if you asked me to pick someone, I probably, you know,
So
Gamen's such a good
this
choice.
is the Liyue tea house.
But I feel like we've gotten to know so many characters since then, so well, that, like, I feel like, you know, I'd have, like, a long list of characters you want to, like, hang out with. Let's find some seats.
We meet again, Captain Kaeya.
Oh, he's nervous about something.
What a coincidence. Twice in one day.
Did you say it had something to do with the South Wharf?
Oh, that didn't take me long. And I ran the whole way.
Oh, wow. Well done.
Wu, weren't you just at Wanwen Bookhouse buying a book for your daughter?
Oh my god.
Let's talk about the wharf.
You just got sold out.
Shh, just leave it be, Aunt Jong. There's no need to embarrass him right in front of everyone else. I take it that you two aren't from around these parts. I'm a caravan guard by trade, and meeting people from all over the world is one of the main perks of the job for me.
Okay.
Why don't you join my table so we can get to know each other?
Sure.
Oh, seems like the tea house is the place to be in Liyue. Feels like I'm back in the angel ship.
Yeah?
Did you manage to get something for your daughter just now, Captain Wu?
Oh my god, he's so subtle with the way he asks these questions.
Yes, thank you. If it weren't for you, Captain Kaeya, she might not have even made it into this world.
What you owe this man is probably astronomical the way you're talking about this.
I'm so lost, Wu. What's the story here?
Your wife's originally from Mondstadt, isn't she? Did you run into Captain Kaeya when you were there on business, or when you were visiting the in-laws?
The latter.
So wait, Kaeya saved you more than once?
Oh, this is so humiliating. Anyway, back when my wife was pregnant, we were taking a trip to Mondstadt to visit her parents this one time, when we were mugged by a group of treasure hoarders near Dawn Winery.
Oh, that sounds awful. Were either of you hurt?
I mean, he's still here, and he's still got all his limbs, so they can't have roughed him up too bad. I'm guessing Captain Kaeya stepped in before they could do either of you any serious harm, huh?
Yes, he did.
Jesus
Thankfully,
Christ.
he heard my wife crying for help and drove them away.
Honestly, I remember him like early on, like we knew he was always like a hero of Mondstadt, right? Like he always was like a very like, you know, because again, like I say the word shady all the time. It's not meant as an insult. It's just a part of his character. He is a hero, and he would do a lot for Mondstadt and for the people there and for people in general.
My wife was injured and quite shaken up by the ordeal. So he took her to the winery and asked them to look after her.
Oh my god, to Diluc?
So what happened to you? Where did you disappear to?
I was in the water.
What?
Huh? What did you jump in the water for? You know they can still get you in
Wait,
there,
did you
right?
flee into the water and leave your wife behind?
No, that's not... I did...
Oh.
They threw me into the water.
Oh.
And, stripped me of all
That's
my
horrible.
clothes.
They did what? Did they have a weird fetish or something? Stripping a sailor naked and throwing him into the water.
Okay.
It's not like you were going to drown.
Calm down.
So, then what?
Yeah.
I take it you swam to shore?
Honestly, like, that sounds horrible. That would be a traumatic experience for the rest of my life. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to laugh at that. Like that, I feel like, you know, I understand like they're like, you know, his friends and they're probably being playful or whatever. Like, to me, that is like, that would be traumatic. You know what I mean? It would be traumatic.
The treasure hoarders always move in groups, and fighting back when you're outnumbered isn't usually an option. It's no surprise that they quickly overpowered Captain Wu. I'm just glad that everyone made it out
That's
all right
the thing.
at the end.
That's the thing. If you're someone who doesn't have a vision, the treasure hoarders would be actually pretty tough.
Captain Kaeya, please, there's no need for you to try to save face for me like this. I already owe you so much.
Save face?
You don't have to do anything more.
You got attacked. You got attacked. There's nothing embarrassing about getting attacked.
Yet, despite that, I somehow only ended up humiliating myself further. Oh, there's no point in me trying to save face
There is
now.
no humiliation in a group of treasure hoarders trying to attack you. Please.
They tossed me into the water to humiliate me, and to use it as leverage to get my wife to pay up.
That's disgusting.
They didn't know that I could swim.
Captain Wu, there's nothing humiliating about this. That is horrible. That is a horrible situation to go through.
What I'd intended was to pretend to drown, then sneak back onto shore while they weren't looking, and find a way to rescue my wife. That was before Captain Kaeya appeared out of nowhere and saved the day. So then I figured I'd get out of the water, get dressed, and catch up with you.
Thank God Kaeya was there.
But God knows what they did with my clothes. I couldn't find them anywhere. By the time I gave up looking for them, you were most of the way to the winery, so I had to run after you with nary a thing on myself.
Outrageous.
Right.
So, what happened
Okay.
next?
Outrageous. No, I think what happened was an absolute horrible thing that happened to a family. And Kaeya was there to save him.
I made it to the winery, but the maids noticed me first, and they called the Lord of the Manor out to give me the beating the treasure hoarders never got around to.
Well, that would be understandable. Someone showing up, you know, dripping wet and naked probably would be very scary for anyone in the Dawn Winery.
After my wife recovered consciousness, she had to have a long talk with the young lord to explain everything. He then escorted us both safely to Stonegate.
Was that to Diluc?
Oh, whoa. I'm sorry. But...
This sounds like such a traumatic situation to me. Am I crazy? Am I crazy?
Ugh, good luck living that one down.
Am I nuts?
Trust me, I know. My wife never lets me forget.
I'm sorry, Captain. I wasn't intending to share that story.
Yeah, like, why would you?
It's fine. It's my own fault for thinking I could sweep it under the carpet and forget about it. I don't know if I can ever repay you for all you've done.
Captain Wu.
That's why I get so embarrassed every time I run into you. Still, it won't stop me from trying. You and your friend are here to catch the storyteller, right? The tea's on me. It's the least I can do. In fact, they do serve some food here, too, but it's not the best. Okay, let me run and get some fruit to share. I'll be right back.
Am I crazy? I don't know. I might be crazy.
Oh, poor Wu. Oh, God.
I wonder how much Fanaria caught of that. Old Wu really has no filter, does he?
I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy. Maybe you guys will have a different... I don't know.
He really didn't have to share all the details of that story. But since he didn't seem to mind, I wasn't about to stop him.
Did you? Well, I suppose if he doesn't mind telling the story, then it's fine, right? Like, it's his story to tell. I still think it's like such a horrible thing to go through. Like, you know, his wife like was unconscious. Did you forget about what happened to him? Did you avoid bringing the whole story up on purpose?
I did actually forget at first, but once he brought up his daughter, the memory of his naked escapades came flooding back. D-Luke thought some pervert was harassing the
that
maids.
makes sense.
He charged straight out the door, great sword in hand and raring to go. I haven't seen him so angry in a long time.
And I feel like him laughing at D-Luke is like a way more appropriate response, right? Like D-Luke coming out like thinking that, because again, that's what you would think, right? Like if someone naked came up to the door and like the ladies of the Dawn Winery came up to D-Luke and was like, D-Luke, there's literally a man sopping wet. He can't, and he's at the door naked. D-Luke's like, what the hell?
So many people owe me favors nowadays. It's hard to keep track of them all. I really should go check my favors ledger once I'm back and refresh my memory.
I actually relate to Kaeya a lot, excuse me, in this way as well. Because I'm one of those people, I'm one of those friends who, if an embarrassing thing happens, I will take it to my grave. It will come with me to my grave, right? But then if they start sharing it, I'm like, okay, if they're sharing it, that's what they want to do. But to me, like, again, like I think what Kaeya's laughing at here is so true. It's like the idea of like Diluc coming out with his sword being like, you know, like, of course Kaeya's gonna laugh at Diluc. I just think that, like, you know, like, he's like, oh, it's so embarrassing. It's like, dude, you got like attacked and robbed. And they did something really horrible to you, you know what I mean? You have a favors ledger, which is crazy.
Hey, you didn't think I was being serious,
no, I actually
did you?
didn't, to be honest.
Do I really strike you as the kind of person to keep track of favors in a notebook?
Well, I don't know, but like, I did think you were being. I think you're, you know, you sometimes love being a bit of a jokester.
I just helped the guy out on a couple of occasions because I happened to be in the right place at the right time. I have no intention of asking him to do anything for me in return. At least, not so far.
Okay.
I'm back with fruit. Please help yourselves, everyone. My treat.
Thank you, Captain Wu. Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, don't mention it. It's just a few fruits, nothing extravagant. Once my new pharmaceutical business takes off and I have Mora to spare, I'll get you a proper thank you gift and send it to the Knights of Favonius.
Pharmaceutical business? So you found a new career?
Okay, so maybe that's why he's not out on the ships anymore.
Shipping's impossible work nowadays. There's too much competition and the margins are too small. So I've decided to switch gears. I'm going to become a partner of Boo Boo Pharmacy and provide funding for a brand new medication they're producing.
Oh, for real?
It's specially formulated to treat seasonal joint and limb pain.
Wow.
If you didn't know, it's a very common health complaint among sailors, but also extremely difficult to treat.
I mean, I can imagine, like, being a sailor, you get a lot of joint pain.
I've suffered from it myself, which is why I know that a lot of people stand to benefit from this once it enters the market. It's a good cause, and a stable source of income. Whichever way you look at it, it's a step up from the back-breaking work I did before. I've already had some talks and invested 1 million Mora for the first round of funding.
Jesus Christ.
That's impressive, Wu. I wouldn't have thought you had
That's
the
a big
connections for something
investment.
like that. So is it Dr. Baiju that you're in talks with?
That'd be really cool.
Oh no, not Dr. Baiju. Actually, it was his master, Dr. Baifudze. His medical expertise and clinical experience are second to none, and he really cares about his patients. He gave me a few of his traditionally formulated bone-strengthening pills when he saw me suffering from my leg pains one day. It was like a miracle cure. The pain
Bone-strengthening pills?
Dr. Baiju's master.
Yeah, I'm... Woo. Please say... Oh, Wu got scammed. Wu got scammed.
Yeah, I told him I'd be enthusiastically recommending his medicine to the other guys at the docks.
Oh, Wu.
And after some hesitation, he just went right ahead and wrote up a prescription for me, completely
Oh,
for free.
Wu.
He said that he shouldn't really be handing out free prescriptions since, and I quote, "It goes against generations of tradition handed down by our forebears."
Oh, no.
But he just felt like it was the right thing to do.
Oh, no.
What a great guy.
Oh, Wu.
But I got chatting with Dr. Baiju recently when the Secure Transport Agency did a delivery for Boo Boo Pharmacy.
Yes.
He told me that his master has already passed away.
Oh, no. No. This poor man.
Huh? Why would he say something like that? I mean, the guy's
Oh.
old, but he's still in great health.
Oh, no, I feel so bad.
Captain Wu, where did you meet this old master?
Oh.
Just out on the street? I know that sounds dubious, but this is an educated and respectable gentleman we're talking about. There's no faking that.
Hold on a second. I just remembered something. My nephew-in-law met a medicine seller not too long ago.
Oh, is this the same
too.
guy?
He also described it as a miracle cure. He spent a lot of mora on it, but when he brought it to Boo Boo Pharmacy, Herbalist Gui took one look and told him he bought nothing but regular painkillers.
Oh, Lord.
This Bai Fuzi you met, did he by any chance have a goatee and salt and pepper hair?
He did.
Oh, no, and there's the realization.
If I may, Captain Wu, there's a lot of mora involved here. It seems like it would be worth asking this Dr. Baiju about his master, just to set the record straight. You could show him the medicine as well. Clearly there's some misunderstanding here.
You're right, Captain Kaeya. A quick trip to Boo Boo Pharmacy and I can get Dr. Baiju to clear all of this up. I'm sure it's all... hopefully it's all fine.
He left in a hurry. He must be stressed out of his mind right now.
Should we go with him for moral support? I know Dr. Baiju, I should go and help. Yeah, for sure, for sure.
Let him deal with this, okay? No point in you stressing yourself out, too. Fraud or not, it's up to Captain Wu
Yeah, I
to
suppose he
figure
has to
out
learn.
exactly who he's gotten himself involved
Oh, I feel so bad. Captain Wu was just the guy who used to walk by us every day, and now he's...
I'm no Dark Knight hero, or a martial arts hero for that matter, and neither are you.
Oh, what are you on about?
Wait, where are you? Now that I think about it, I can see you having a secret double life as a martial arts hero here in Liyue. You certainly have the personality for it.
Is that because your half-brother or adopted brother is Batman?
Either way, Liyue has its own rules and regulations. Best to let the Ministry of Civil Affairs deal with this in the proper manner. If a couple of outlanders like us get involved, we might just end up muddying the waters, even with the best of intentions.
Usually I would, totally agree, and, he's right in what he's saying, but I feel like we have such a, foothold in, the most important people in Liyue love us. You know what I mean? And I've used that so many times. I've been like, I know people. You know, I know people, but it's true.
We came here to enjoy ourselves,
Also true.
Remember? We don't want to get our priorities mixed up. Oh, and look at that. The storyteller's taking the stage.
It is said that the sky's the limit for the aspirational soul. But alas, for the woes of the world are equally limitless. No such stranger to woes was Huang Guang, a man who, having suffered countless injustices at the hands of his fellow men, forsook them to dwell among the mountains and rivers. Yet fate fortuitous found him when he entered the tutelage of an adeptus and learned many mystical arts from them. Per his master's wishes, he then returned once more to the human world, only this time with a sworn duty to cleanse the land of demons and to see justice done wherever he might tread.
It's like Xiao.
Is that all? Huh. I was hoping to hear the rest of the story.
What did you think of the story?
It was all right. I suppose the hero always has to sacrifice himself to save others, and it does make for some good storytelling. But it leaves you wondering how he really feels about the whole thing. Did he ever have second thoughts? Only he can know, I suppose.
Yeah, that's the problem with like stories as well that don't have like, you know, that you don't talk, you know, it's like you can only speculate afterwards, right? But I guess like they're showing us how fun it can be to speculate too.
Oh, I see the show is over.
Did you find Baiju?
Yeah, I saw Dr. Baiju. Looks like it was a scam after all.
Then what are you waiting for? Don't just stand there. You need to report this to the Ministry of Civil Affairs right
100%.
away.
You need to work this out.
Hold on. Let's not lose our cool. Get your story straight first, so you can give them a clear and detailed account of events in the order that they occurred. And one more thing. Do you still have a way to contact this guy?
Well, I'd arranged to meet him at the Yunshang Tea House once I've withdrawn the next sum of Mora, so I suppose he'll still be waiting on that.
Okay, so you've got another meeting lined up.
Interesting.
I've got no one to blame but myself for this. I can't believe I was so gullible. I guess the world isn't made for naive, simple
Captain Wu, I feel so bad for you. I really do. Your good nature is not to be ashamed of. The way they abuse your trust is despicable. I agree.
Young man,
I agree.
You're a good person, and I'm touched by your words of comfort. Still, it's up to me to find a way to get my Mora
Yeah, but we can
back.
help.
The consequences are mine alone to bear. At my age, I'm sure I should be comforting the young with words of wisdom rather than the other way around. What does that say about how I've spent my life?
What is it, Kai? Got a solution?
It's obvious, isn't it? He needs to report the case to the Ministry of Civil Affairs.
There must be more we can do.
Come with me.
Always. Always. I feel so bad for Captain Wu. I feel so bad.
I am quite curious. How does our chivalrous martial arts hero intend to come to Captain Wu's rescue?
Oh, and he wanted to talk with this decide again. Like every word he says, like it's like a mixture of like the most like gentle thing in the world, and then it's also like I don't know, like it's very pointed as well, right?
There are countless victims of injustice in the world. We can't try to help each and every one of them, can we?
Right now, we can help this one person.
Oh, I'm surprised. I didn't know you thought of me as someone who helps other people unconditionally.
I mean, like, I know the Knights of Favonius get a wage and stuff like this, but like, I'm pretty sure you would help people as well. And you go above and beyond for the Knights as well.
I'm genuinely flattered. But we both know that I'm not that kind of person, really.
You helped Captain Wu just because you were there and didn't remember it. You even helped him think through where we can find the con artists. You didn't want to laugh at others laughed at Captain Wu's woes. Yeah, all these guys, so we can say, yeah. And that's why I believe you're willing to help.
Your logic is very straightforward and quite endearing in its simplicity.
We should hug about it.
But I like how you think. So I'll indulge your martial arts hero aspirations for now.
Martial arts hero is my new nickname, apparently. Martial arts hero. That's me. So I guess we can go help Captain Wu.
Captain Wu, how would you feel about owing me one more favor?
Oh my god, imagine that's the way he says it.
I'm sorry, Captain Kaeya?
Let's say, hypothetically speaking, I found a way to recover your Mora that would leave the man who defrauded you feeling angry and frustrated, but give him no way to get back at you.
Oh, wow.
If it could be done, and the only cost was owing me yet another favor, what would you say?
What exactly are you getting at?
The traveler here is adamant that you should ask me for another favor.
I love the way he's
Personally,
phrasing this.
I blame the storyteller. After hearing the inspiring tale of Bravebeard, he's all gung ho about playing hero and righting this injustice once and for all.
He's saying we've been influenced by it. We watched the TV show and we're like, I gotta be that. We watched the Power Rangers.
Captain Kaeya, young man, I thank you. I will humbly accept your kindness.
All right. Now here's what I'm thinking.
You develop a plan with Kaeya.
All right. Then it's settled. Per our brave hero's plan, let's rendezvous at Yanshang Tea House tomorrow.
I love how he's like played it up as well, like, cause you know, of course he doesn't like fully believe that, but like he's like messing with us as well, you know, like calling us a martial arts hero and everything. He's the best. He's the absolute best. Okay, let's go to. Sorry, what was the time? I always like go gung ho into this, so 8 o'clock the next day. Yeah, like he's totally calling us martial arts heroes, like it's like a little rib. It's a little rib. It's a little joke. And he's saying that we got influenced by what we just saw there as well. It's like it's a very like the way Kaeya like makes fun of people is very playful and doesn't hurt. You know what I mean? It's like kind of like it's like like it just makes me like you more. Let's go back to the tea house here. Our team today of Pleasant Shock.
Ah, you're here. Good. I'll head upstairs first, and you join me in a bit.
Sure.
You've got nothing to worry about. As long as this lucky coin's in my hands, it'll do as it's told. Before I toss the coin, I'll get our guy to bet heads or tails. Then it's your turn to bet. Now remember, if I touch my chin, you bet heads. If I touch my forehead,
okay.
You go for tails.
That's so cool. Okay. Got it. Everyone in his position. The plan is basically we can pull off as Kaeya. I'm making sure. I'm making sure. So, forehead, tails, chin, heads. I'm making sure, guys, even though I know it was that.
Hello. Are you waiting
Love
for
your hair.
someone?
I'll head up now.
As long as you follow the rules of the tea house, you're welcome here.
You are
Please
so
be our
stylish. Okay, hello. I spaced out for a second. Oh, here. Oh my god, everyone's here.
From the way you describe it, Liyue does sound like an attractive place to settle. Perhaps I might have to make the move
Oh, he's
here
playing a
after all.
naive person.
All that awaits me back in Mondstadt is a horde of insufferable sycophants. Truly tedious.
You love them.
The reason I left home in the first place was because I was reluctant to simply live off of my inheritance.
Oh, bring up like an inheritance so it's gonna perk his ears up.
I understand. For one as ambitious as yourself, Mr. Rich, living off of the
No.
family fortune
No.
must feel like the dullest
No.
existence
He
in
didn't
the
make his
world.
name up as Mr. Rich. He did not.
What are you doing? It's common courtesy to introduce yourself. Can't you see we got here first?
Don't be so uptight, just looking for a seat.
They're running out of tables, huh? Looks like this location's getting too small for them. Very well, I'll make an exception for
the
you
eyes.
this one time. Let's hope the tea, at least, won't disappoint me.
So, my friend, what's your name?
I'm an aspiring foreign disciple of the Gua clan. Kai is a young lord of a wealthy family, so let's talk about whatever title he wanted to give me. I'm an aspiring foreign disciple of the Gua clan.
Here is the tea that you ordered. Please enjoy.
When you all agree, heads or tails? No, it's not even heads or tails. This girl is stylish.
Ugh,
She looks incredible.
this tea is... Mr. Bai, this has been a most pleasant and insightful conversation. I consider it good fortune that I encountered such a refined gentleman as yourself.
Oh my god, he's so
far
good.
from home.
Let's go.
Please allow me to pay for the tea.
Yes, good fortune indeed. In that case, I must thank you for your generosity.
You there. I'll get yours too.
Nods. Far from home?
Oh, you can't tell?
That's such an interesting way of putting it as well.
My family's lived in Mondstadt for generations. I got bored sitting around at home and decided to set off on a journey to expand my horizons.
Oh wow, very interesting, Mr. Rich.
The sights of Liyue Harbor are rather spectacular. I've half a mind to buy a waterfront property here so I can come vacationing every year. That would be quite nice. If the family would spare me a little loose change, I could even invest in an antique shop or two so I have something to do during the day.
But waterfront properties are so expensive.
And the point of life is to enjoy yourself. If something makes me happy, it's worth every mora.
Oh, I see.
Mr. Rich, just to clarify, that's quite a large sum of mora as far as the common man is concerned. It's understandable that our friend over here feels out of his league.
Oh yes, maybe I do.
The name's Albert. Surname Rich. But only the servants in the house address me as Mr. Rich. Now that we're so well acquainted, Mr. Bai, please just call me Albert.
Albert Rich. Alberich. Albert Rich. Alberich.
Albert does have a nice ring to it. It is my honor to become friends with someone of your caliber.
Did he say he was your friend yet? I don't think so.
You flatter me. What say you to acting as my guide during my time in Liyue? I'll pay you handsomely, of course. Naturally, board and lodging would be included. And I could pay you in the region of 50,000 mora per day.
Whoa.
No need, my good friend. I shan't be so vulgar as to take your mora. We're both men of character. The pleasure of your ongoing acquaintance
this is
shall be
two
ample
people
reward in itself.
like trying to play each other, right? But only one is succeeding, and that's Kaeya.
To join
Because he thinks he's
a noble
untouchable, this guy
gentleman on
does.
his travels is a rare opportunity. Please, let me draft up an exact itinerary. I'll make sure to give you the experience of a lifetime.
You there. You're welcome to join us if you want. Which clan did you say you were with? The Hoo-Ha clan or something?
Yes, the hoo-ha. Again, like even in a fake conversation, he like still has to slight us a little bit. You know what I mean? It's the Gua clan.
Hoo-Ha, huh? Strange choice of name. Gotta say, I've been in Liyue for a while now. This is the first I'm hearing of them.
Well,
I guess they're one of these obscure ones who keep to themselves.
obscure. Have you heard of the man with the most amazing white boots that ever lived in all of Liyue? Maybe I should say, witness the power of Gua.
Yes, well, there are many
I'm getting into this too.
martial arts clans and factions in Liyue. It's only natural that you haven't become acquainted with all of them.
I love that he's named us after like an actual martial arts clan and like, or like I guess like a type of clan like that. But like yeah, like we've heard the word Gua like so many times at this point. Guha.
Fair enough. Still, weird name. Bet they have some even weirder practices.
They're all lovely.
Seriously though,
Somewhat.
what kind of skills do you guys train anyway? It's all for show, right? I saw some people performing a few tricks down at the wharf. Is it that kind of thing?
We train in blue hair and nice boots. If you're comparing the Gua clan to the Street Forwards, we have nothing to talk about. Oh, we're really getting into this. I will take my leave now. I'll get my own check as well.
I already told the server to put it on my tab. Don't bother getting her to split the bill. It'll only complicate things.
I was merely passing by. Your generosity will be better served elsewhere.
Young man, there's no need to take things so seriously. Why don't you loosen up and enjoy the free drink?
Oh, Mr. Bai, thank you, but I mustn't.
Are you trying to make a point by throwing my generosity back in my face? All right then. What if I say your bill is mine and don't let you pay?
Wanna fight?
Please, my friends, let's not get so worked up. Yinchang Tea House is no venue for a duel. We'll all get escorted right out
A
the
fake
door.
fight between me and Kai would be very funny.
You young people have hot tempers, I understand that. But there's no need to come to blows over a few words taken to heart when there are far more diplomatic ways to resolve the dispute.
Okay, then how about we settle this with a coin toss? I'll foot my own bill if I win.
Did I hear that right? So you'll only pay for yourself if you win, but I'll get the check for the three of us if you lose. It's not that I care about the Mora. After all, I offered to pay for everyone's drinks in the first place. No, what I find truly absurd is your refusal to play fair. I demand that you also pay for three if you win.
He knows he's a good actor. You insulted me first, now you also want to dictate terms? If I win the bet, you'll have to make a formal apology to the Gua clan. I know I'm doing the fancy voice when, like, again, like, you know, the person we know associated with the Gua clan is Xing Shou, right? And, like, he's, like, incredibly, like, well-spoken, but doesn't talk like this, you know? He's incredibly well-spoken, but also down to earth at times, too.
Fine. You can have your apology if you win, but on one condition. We'll do the best of three, and the winner pays for the table.
Let's go.
Well, as long as you're no longer raring to fight, peace begets wealth, as the elders used to say.
Why don't you join us, Mr. Bai? Let's entertain this guy for a sec. We don't want him to think you're stingy.
But I wasn't even a part of your argument.
Yeah, you are, stinky face. Okay, you're part of this now.
What are you trying to say, Mr. Bai? Whose side are you on here?
Yeah, whose side are you on here?
Of course, I'm on...
Which side?
And anyway, it's no big deal if you win. It's just a few cups of tea after all, so you can just take it from your fees as my guide.
Of course.
All right then. I suppose it's not all that different from the dice gambling games I used to play in my youth. If it's just for a few drinks, you can count me in.
All right, now we're talking. Okay, now that we've agreed on the rules, how should we do this coin toss? After all, a Mora coin looks the same on both sides.
Easy, we can just borrow a pen from the counter on them to mark one side.
Well, that should be simple enough. Here, I'll take this coin and ask the counter to draw a line on one side. You two can wait for me.
Imagine just hear an argument in your tea house, then like this beautiful man walks up to you. Draw a line on this. Right now.
Young man, I can see that you haven't spent many years in the real world. You take everything far too personally.
Oh yes? Well, we've been pretending. You've got... No, not too early. You suck.
I, too, only met this Mondstadt millionaire by complete chance today.
Same.
But we're getting along just fine. I actually came here to meet with a business partner to count the cash from 2 recent investments when this gentleman struck up a conversation with me. In the real world, you've got to keep up appearances. There's no need to offend the rich. After all, if you keep them happy, you can probably make some more off of them, too.
Man, I'm not here to defend the rich. I'm here to defend Captain Wu. So, I don't know, you suck. Like, you're gonna get had at the end of this.
You young people are much too impulsive. It pays to keep a level head.
Just so we're clear, let's say the marked side is heads and the unmarked side is tails. Everyone has to pick a side before the coin toss.
Forehead is tails, chin
And
is
no
right.
takebacks.
Forehead's tails. Chin is heads. Forehead is tails. Sure.
We should also take turns tossing the coin.
Of course.
Sounds fair to me. Why don't you do the first toss, Albert?
Why, yes, indeed.
All right, then, I'll start us off. Here we... Oh, wait. I nearly forgot to collect everyone's bets. Mr. Bai, heads or tails?
I suppose the choice is arbitrary since it's a 50-50 chance. I'll go with
This guy is, like, foaming at the mouth to get some money here.
Let me think. I'll also go with tails. What about you? Heads or tails?
Forehead is... Okay, heads. Tails, just as planned.
Oh, darn, I won. Lucky me, I guess.
I won as well. Guess there might be a formal apology in the cards after all.
Hey, that's just the first toss.
I have a
This
suggestion.
is actually so much fun. It's so much fun to play along with
If one of us
this.
loses twice in a row, they should get knocked out while the other two carry on playing to decide the winner. Otherwise, with 3 of us playing, it'll start to get difficult to keep track of who's won the most times. I flipped the coin last time, so why don't you go next? I don't want you blaming my coin-tossing skills if you guess wrong this turn.
That's fair,
Here.
Mr. Albert.
Now just wait a second, my dear friends. Please let me do the second toss.
Oh, Mr. Stinky Face. Go ahead.
Oh? Anxious to take your turn, Mr. Bai?
You are both young, and I've already seen your short tempers for myself. If Albert loses this round and this young man wins, you'll be tied. And before you know it, you'll be at each other's throats again.
Please. He was the one at fault. This isn't part of our plan. What should we do?
Well, that's not my only consideration either. You two may be too young to know this, but I've been around the block a few times. What's to say this isn't a trick coin?
A trick coin? You forget yourself, sir.
In dice games, people use all sorts of methods to rig the game. Some even fit the dice with mechanisms that give them whichever result they want.
I've been staring at your beard. It looks like a trick beard, so, like, we can have 2 conversations about that.
If Albert wins the next round and you, young man, lose for the second time in a row, then the third round will just be a tiebreaker between him and me, and you won't get your apology to the Guhua clan. If that happens, only for you to then find out that the coin was rigged all along, you're sure to accuse me of working with Albert to scam you while mocking the Guhua clan. I can only imagine the kind of vengeful warpath that would put you on. A purely hypothetical scenario, of course, but one that I'm bringing up now to avoid any misunderstanding further down the road. Go on, give me the coin. I'll show you how to check if it's been rigged.
Why is Kai still smiling?
Very diligent of you indeed, Mr. Bai. Looks like I chose the right person to be my guide.
So Kai's figured something out as well.
Take it.
A rigged coin will always be a little heavier than a normal coin, you see. This one seems perfectly normal
Oh my God.
to me, however. But don't take it from me. Why don't you test it for yourself?
Pettiness is below me. I trust your judgment. Ooh, that was a close call.
What's your bet
I love
this
getting him with that
time, Mr.
little
Bai?
dig.
I'll stick with tails.
Tails, huh? Well, you seem to have a feel for this, so I guess I'll match your bet again this round. Tails it is.
Heads.
And you...
Or is Kai already...
Well, my luck's still just about holding out. The three of us are now tied, so no one drops out. Certainly better than Albert and I going head-to-head in the final round.
It's my turn?
Mm-hmm. Well, here you go. What'll it be, Mr. Bai?
It's a tough decision this time.
Is it?
That's what makes it fun, isn't it? Anyway, there's no need to stress. What's the cost of a few cups of tea compared to 50,000 I'll be paying you every day?
He's so good at playing him like this.
You make a good point. All right, I'll take heads.
Okay, and now it's my turn to guess. Not that the outcome matters either way to me. I won't even notice the more's gone. Whatever. I'll take tails.
He's just like a thespian. He's just like always like, again, the switch is always turned on. Tails. It's tails. Oh, heads, sorry. Now it's Kai's turn.
Why did it have to be heads? This whole thing started because you two got into a spat, and now I'm the one that has to foot the bill.
But it shouldn't be a problem for someone as rich as you.
What say you to another round?
Sure, why not? I'm having fun. I can go for as many rounds as you want.
I'm out.
What a miserly person. Do as you please. The two of us can play.
But Albert, all the fun of gambling is in the
Oh my
stakes
God.
involved. What say you to throwing a little loose
Hook.
change
On the
into
hook.
pot?
On the line. Sinker.
Oh, come on now. No need to walk on eggshells here. Let's keep it simple, shall we? If you guess right, I pick up the tab. But if you guess wrong, I'm afraid it's still on you.
Sure. That's exactly what I was thinking.
Well, here's the coin. You can toss first. I'll take heads.
I'll choose.
Wouldn't it defeat the whole purpose of betting if you guessed the same as me? This is a two-person game now. Surely one of us has to guess heads and the other tails.
It's like, again, like I know I keep complimenting his voice, but it's so good, especially when he's like swindling someone like this.
All right. It all comes down to luck, after all. I'll take tails.
Oh, tails.
Ooh, looks like Rex Lapis has smiled upon me today after all.
Bet you wished.
Thank you for the tea, Albert.
Bet you wish you raised the stakes now, huh?
Look at you getting so giddy over some chump change. It's like you've never gambled with real money before, my old man. That's a real rush, I'm telling you. This is nothing by comparison. In fact, I'm starting to get a little bored.
Wow.
Well, in that case, would you care for another game?
What game are we going to be playing this time?
Sure. And let's up the stakes a little this time. Shall we say 50,000?
So it's going to keep getting higher?
Oh, maybe that's a little on the high side.
What, 50,000? But that's just a single day's guide pay for you.
All right. I'll bet tails.
Great, then I'll bet heads. No takebacks.
Oh, dear Lord.
Oh, how unfortunate. I shouldn't have gotten greedy. After all,
He's about to die.
Gambling is always a losing game. 50,000 more.
Chump change. Chump change, my man.
Albert, I'm terribly sorry, but as it happens, I forgot to bring my coin purse with me today. Could you perhaps take this 50,000 out of my guide fees?
But I know you came here to count some cash. You told me.
That would...
Advance payment? Sorry, I'm afraid that's not my style.
Oh,
it'll have to be
Kaeya.
cash.
This day just getting better and better.
You said you came here to count cash.
50,000. Let me see what cash I have on me.
Well, he takes out 50,000 more in bills from his eyes. You have it.
Just
You have it.
50,000? That's not what we agreed on.
Huh? What are you talking about?
Oh.
I think
Oh, no.
you'll find
Oh, no.
that our bet was for 50,000.
No, it was $1 million.
No, it wasn't. The amount was
Kaeya.
1 million.
1
Yes.
million? Are you insane? Come on now, Albert. Be serious.
Albert.
$1 million here and $1 million there might be all fun and games to you rich types, but to ordinary folk like myself, this is no laughing matter.
No. I heard it as well.
I'm being perfectly serious. I know what I said, and what I said.
Oh my
was
God, we're
1
gonna
million
confirm
more.
it. Oh my God.
You're lying through your teeth. Hey, young man, you tell him. Did
I'm
you
so
hear
excited.
him say 1 million at any point during our bet?
Yeah, he said 1 million.
Huh? What the? I'm not deaf, you know. I swear I heard 50,000.
I heard him say 1 million.
Wait. Oh, I see.
No, we're not.
You two are in this together.
You two are together. You and your fake beard.
I've never met either of you before today, and out of nowhere you suddenly roped me into betting over a coin toss, and now you're accusing me of owing you 1 million more.
Yeah, because you do. Two people heard it.
Huh? Do you have any idea who you're trying to cheat? I know all the tricks in the book. I can't believe a couple of beginners like you managed to get this far.
Oh, man.
Well, don't you try to celebrate just yet. You amateurs have a lot to learn about the art of the con. Do you really think that nobody else will have heard all the commotion we just
Oh, no.
made? All I need is one
We have-
witness, and this little scheme of yours falls apart.
We have people waiting nearby.
Frauds! Frauds, I say! These two kids are trying to scam me out of my hard-earned mora! Hostess! Oh, hostess, come quickly!
How pathetic.
Yeah, pathetic. Just pay up to 1 million, which we said 1 million.
What is going on here? If you can't abide by our rules, you're not welcome at Yenshang Tea House. I don't care what the issue is. You don't get to make a racket like that in here. Halberd! Fang!
Halberd and Fang.
Wait, don't throw me out! These two con artists are trying to steal my mora! You can't let them get away with it!
No, sorry. Fake beard over here bet 1 million.
Well, let's take this somewhere else. I don't want any of you disturbing
Fair.
the other guests.
Honestly, fair. Very fair. Let's take it somewhere else. Let's go into the chasm where no one can. Let's just hang out here where no one can hear you.
Okay, you two. Care to explain yourselves?
Sure, no problem.
Gladly. He's making up completely spurious claims. We were betting Mora over a few coin tosses, and now he wants to back out.
Oh my
In the land
God.
of contracts.
In the
of all
land
places.
of contracts, he says.
He won 250,000 from me, then another 800,000 from the both of us. Now he's refusing to pay up the measly 50,000 that he lost in the final round.
Okay, so after settling up, a total of 1 million mora should have changed hands. Sounds plausible enough.
Exactly.
It's a complete pack of lies. Hostess, if you don't believe me,
No.
ask anyone else in the tea house. These kids were so loud. I guarantee you, everybody in that
Oh, you don't know
room
what's
knows
about
the
to happen
true
to you, buddy.
story.
You don't know what's about to happen to you.
Sorry to interrupt you all, but you're witnesses to the situation here. Is what Mr. Bai says true?
This is so good.
Oh, thank goodness you're finally here. What took you so long? That old guy's been bragging about the Mora he's won so loudly, I'm surprised the whole street didn't hear him. I was about to report him to the Ministry
Heck
of Civil
yeah,
Affairs.
Zhang.
Leave me out of this. I want nothing to do with gamblers and scammers. Please, just bring
Oh,
me
they're
my
doing
check.
so good. They're doing so good.
Our new owner laid down the law not too long ago. We turn a blind eye towards casual games of dice, but there is zero tolerance for any explicit gambling
You tell
with real
him. You
moral.
tell him.
Return any winnings to the party you took them from, and we'll say that none of this
Oh.
ever happened.
Oh.
Otherwise, I'll have to bring in the millilith. And I can assure you that they take a more hard line on this kind of thing
Yeah,
than we
and
do.
they would side with us. You know what's so funny as well is that like what Kai just did was he actually like made it believe that we already paid him some money, so now he has to give us all the money back.
Why should I have to give them any mora? I don't have any mora on
You
me.
do. I know you do.
Oh, but I think you do. 2 investments, was it? One of them to the tune of exactly 1 million as it happens. Oh, and don't forget you still need to pay the tab.
He got destroyed.
You... Wait. How did you...
How did I?
Halberd! Fang! There's a gentleman...
Yes,
I would
Halberd
really like you to
Fang!
meet.
Get him, Halberd and Fang.
Please don't. I'll pay, all right?
Halberd and Fang, break him. Beat him up.
This was never your Mora to begin with. We'll be returning it to its rightful
Kaeya, you are
owner now.
amazing. This was so amazing. It was so good to see like this all, you know, the kind of like through lines of the plan. Halberd and Fang. You know what? Halberd and Fang should still beat people up. You know what I'm talking about? Do you know what I'm talking about? Halberd and Fang, great idea. There isn't even a Halberd and Fang, is there? It's just what, you know what? Smart. Absolutely no. There genuinely is. I love that. I love that so freaking much. That was so much fun. Where you gone? Oh, here they are. They're over here. Captain Wu, we got your money back. That was so much fun.
What did you think, Captain Wu? Could you hear clearly from your corner on the 2nd floor?
Yes, everything. I can't thank you two enough.
Woo. This was your doing, wasn't it? You and this Mondstatter planned the whole thing.
You said Mondstatter like an insult.
Along with that blonde one. And all the customers on that floor in on it too.
Not at
weren't
all.
they?
Even Halberd and Fang weren't even in it.
I know where you live.
Jesus.
And I know what your wife looks like.
Jesus.
Your pretty little daughter, too. You crossed the wrong man today.
Who'd be scared of a crook like you? I'll take you on any
Go
day
on,
of
Captain
the week.
Wu.
Well, let's see how long that false bravado of yours will last.
Oh, look at that. He figured it out. Guess he's not as dumb as we thought.
Oh my god, I love you, Kaeya. Get him. End him.
Don't you two get
End him.
cocky either. Just you wait.
You don't-
I will hunt you down.
Do you see the vision on his belt? Do you understand what this is? You were in Liyue, and I'm gonna say it again. I always sound like I'm like playing up like, oh, who I know. Go talk to. What if I call Lady Ningguang down? She's probably too busy, but I'll call someone down. Kaching, Ganyu, call them down. What were you gonna say then?
My apologies for having to leave this question until you'd vacated the premises. But I couldn't have things escalate inside the tea house. I hope you can understand our position.
No problem whatsoever. I understand completely. You were fantastic.
I noticed that all the guests on the 2nd floor were present before you took your seats, then left almost immediately after you did.
Yes?
Would I be correct in saying you were looking to set this man up?
Yes. You are. You're fantastic, by the way. You do such a good job of running that place.
Wait, so you saw through it right away?
Under normal circumstances, we would never tolerate a scheme like this taking place on our grounds, as it risks damaging our owner's reputation.
He needs to give you a raise. You are fantastic.
However, I understand that our owner holds the traveler in high regard.
Yeah.
And must have good reasons for their actions. Still, I would appreciate an explanation.
Sure.
If only so that I can answer to
This
the owner.
is so awesome. This is what I'm talking about. This is why in Liyue, like, we are, like, legitimately, like, you can't deny it in the story. We are, like, somewhat, like, you know, we're trusted. Not even trusted, we're respected.
Ah, as I thought. When you're operating on someone else's turf, you run the risk of clashing with the master of the house. Thankfully, we considered that possibility before going ahead with our plan.
And, like, she, of course, knew us. Like, it would be so surprising if she didn't know us at all.
Over to you, brave hero. You're the one with the connections in Liyue.
Yes! I
It's
love
your
them
time
bringing
to
this
shine.
up. We recount what happened to Captain Wu.
Okay. I understand the situation now. It goes without saying that I have no wish to stand in
is so
the way
awesome.
of your chivalrous deeds. I'll report everything you told me to our owner.
Feel free to find me again. No, you're fine. No, you need a raise. You need a raise. You're fantastic.
Well, Captain Wu, remember what I promised you? What do you think? Angry and frustrated enough for you?
I think you delivered.
Excuse me, coming through. Is this the Mr.
Oh my
Ba
god, you got the
reported to
Millet
us?
involved as well.
Yes, that's him all right. The one who scammed
This is a
Captain
perfect
Wu.
plan.
Wait! Where's your evidence? And Wu, you've already recovered your Mora.
No.
I don't deserve to
Wait,
be
what?
punished twice
Taking the money
for
back is a
same
punishment to
crime.
you? That's not a punishment.
You can't talk your way out of this one. You're already suspected of defrauding multiple victims out of smaller
Get
amounts,
him!
and the
End
combined total
him!
meets the threshold for a conviction. If it turns out you're guilty in this case too, it'll only add to your
End
sentence.
him.
Does the plaintiff have any witnesses? If so, we'd really appreciate
This
if they
is so
could come with us and
good.
provide a testimony.
Here, sir. I'm happy to give a testimony.
You got tangled up in this too,
And they
huh?
know us.
In that case, please come with me. Your witness statements will play a crucial role in helping to move this case
It
forward.
feels so good because this game has such respect for its world and its characters. Of course, it makes perfect sense that if we said something to the middle of that, they're gonna believe us, and not only believe us, but trust us.
Don't worry, we won't take up too much of your time. And you, sir, can stop.
You know what I
twiddling
mean? It
your
makes
thumbs.
perfect sense.
You're coming with us too.
Hey, keep your hands off me. I'll cooperate. Stop manhandling
Oh, you're
me.
gonna get manhandled. Manhandle him all the way to prison. You militate the common way. You give a testimony and return to the tea house entrance.
Thank you so much, the both of you. I really don't know how I could ever begin to repay you.
Well, I have an idea. We originally came here to do some sightseeing. Anywhere you'd recommend?
Oh my god,
we
it
go
ends up
before the
here.
end of our trip?
Full circle.
Let me think. Now, where would I want to go? Hey, are either of you interested in a fishing trip?
I just got chills because the idea of fishing with Kaeya would be so fun.
Sounds fun to me. Let's go.
Oh, it's so good. Wait. Oh my god, it's still going. This is definitely the longest hangout choice ever. But like that was such an intricate like little thing we did there as well. Like the whole plan that we unearthed there, and I love again such respect for its story. It understands its characters. Like it understands like the idea that like of course like we'd be the ones listened to. And like it may seem like unfair, but like the reason we're so trusted is because like we don't do things that are bad. We don't do things that are immoral. We have the trust of Lady Ningguang. We have the trust of Ganyu. We have the trust of Keqing, Zhongli. Like all like respected people in this place respect us. You know?
Well, this was certainly an eventful
It
end
was
to
awesome.
my trip. It wouldn't have been possible without you. Or my lucky coin,
You
of
did
course.
such a good thing today. I'm just glad nothing went wrong when I tossed the coin.
Wouldn't be much of a lucky coin if it had.
That's the coin he's always flipping. isn't it?
Besides, I already taught you how to become attuned to it. You still need some practice to master the technique, but luckily it decided to play nice and spare us any more complications.
Yeah, how do you control it?
A better question to ask might be, what do I do to make this coin happy to work with me and show me whichever side I wish?
Huh?
My answer would be that I tell the coin a joke every time I toss it into the air. If it finds my joke funny, then it cooperates with me.
All right.
Of course, this whole arrangement hinges on a pre-existing amount of trust between the two of us. I can't just get any strange coins to listen to me.
He caught us off guard when he insisted on taking the second coin toss.
Yeah, I was a little surprised when he unwittingly called out our trick coin, but it didn't matter. A good gambler always keeps their options open. You have to have a contingency plan for when the odds are against you. So when I went to the counter, I marked a regular coin as well as my trick one.
Wow.
That safely avoided any risk of him finding out about
He's the
trick
best.
coin. But it also meant that we wouldn't be able to control the result of that round. But hey, what does it matter? The fact that he made things a little more challenging only made it all the more exciting to watch him slowly but surely fall
Heck
into
yeah.
our trap.
Heck yeah.
Especially listening to him warn us about the possibility of a rigged coin right as we were scamming him. That was my favorite part. As long as I chose the same bet as him, and you bet the opposite to me, it was always going to end up with him paying. Unless, of course, he'd had some other tricks up his sleeve that we hadn't thought of. Then things would have gotten really interesting.
True, but no, you did a fantastic job with this.
You two are genuinely the smartest people I've ever met. I'm no intellectual, so I would never have been able to come up with a plan like this. Even when you described it to me, I only understood parts of it.
Never change your good nature.
Well, I may not be the smartest guy around, but one thing I do know is this. One should always return tenfold the help that they've received from others.
Okay.
We were just ordinary acquaintances. You had no reason to help me as much as you did.
They're both good people.
If there's anything I can ever do for you in the future, anything at all, please let me know. You can always count on me. I guarantee it.
It's so appreciated. Thank you.
You seem agitated. Are you worried about owing me yet another favor? There are two kinds of people who owe me favors. One is my friends, and the other my informants. My informants have to fulfill whatever requests I make of them, no questions asked. The question is, which kind of person do you want to be?
What path do you choose?
And you're torn again. Too afraid to ask to be my friend, but also daunted by the dangers inherent in becoming my informant. Well, it's okay, because I just thought of a fun and easy way to get us out of this impasse.
Oh my god.
Let's do a coin toss. This is the regular coin I prepared for the contingency plan when I was borrowing a pen from the bar. Not the lucky one that does what I tell it to. If it's heads, we're friends. But if it's tails,
This is insane.
you're at my beck and call. May the Lord of Geo decide.
It's just like how does he think of like all the next things he's gonna say?
So, was it heads or tails?
What do you think? What does your heart tell you?
Kai just put the coin back in his pocket.
I understand now. You have my most sincere gratitude. No, that's a little too formal. What I'm trying to say is, here, your fishing rods.
Thank you.
My friends.
Thank you. Beautiful. Look at that. Do you want to be my informant or my friend? Absolutely beautiful. I think what that whole hangout part of the hangout was trying to show us was that Kaeya is someone.
You always have to seize the opportunity while it's there.
You tell him, Kuching. What it's like, yes, he's a shady character. Yes, he's someone who is like deals with like other shady characters, but he also knows how to deal with shady characters, and he also uses that like very intricate it's kind of like he has all the traits that like a con artist would want, but he uses them for good, if that makes sense. And I think that's actually like one of the things I love about him. Like he has all the traits of a pure like actual con artist, right? Of someone who would be good as a con artist. Like that sounds bad because I'm trying to make it sound like he's bad, but like, you know, he could be a con artist if that makes sense. But like what he does instead is that he's very playful. He's very, as we said, the word shady, not in a bad way, but he also like uses all that for good. And he was able to do something like that as well. And also show us as well that like there are like people who will swindle you for your money, and all of them get caught out in the end. This is a part I'm adding onto this video just because I don't want to leave you guys hanging, just in case this was uploaded into 2 parts. I know the final recording was about 4 hours long, so I said I'd come back here to where we just finished the last part of this. That would have been the last part of that. And talk about like that mission and the first mission in general, so we can like give a summary of what we've seen so far. I do think that the relationship there between the first part of this mission was all about Kaeya and the play and revealing a lot of like, to me, a lot of very like big lore pieces. And like one of the big deals about that to me was that Kaeya was trying to say to us like, hey, like what would you do if like, you know, your fate, would you defy your fate? Would you go against your fate? This idea of like what would you do? if you were to, and he's like, oh, I like that idea. And it's like trying to turn the question around on us, a question that he has for himself, like, what would you do? The idea of you had to, like, you know, if your father and your people, not necessarily your father, but your people came to destroy this place, came to wage war on this place, what would you do? And that's the theory, isn't it? The idea that there will be a war waged from Conria to Tevat. And I feel like that's one of the things that I was trying to get across for sure. And then in the second one, the second ending, I feel like that one was very long, but that was trying to, I think that was trying to show us that, hey, Kaeya is savvy. He is, in some cases, a very talented swindler. He could swindle us. He could lie to us. He could. But I think they're trying to get across the point that, like, he's a good dude. And he uses his savviness and his swindling aspects to do minor stuff that can be kind of silly. But in general, he's trying always to, like, I guess, like, do the right thing. He cares about other people. I think that's what I was trying to show in that as well. I thank you guys so much for watching this always, and thanks so much for supporting the series. And thank you so much to Tyfire2, Jamie Bull, Jana the Banana, The Ghost of Inazuma, Felicitas Felix, Ewald, Radish, Anusa, Shabbatterbed, Malcolm Day, Death Trap, and Links Markey. And I'll see you all oh so very soon. Bye bye.